Everything looks good. All indications are green. Just a few seconds more. Looks good. The meeting is yours, Mr. Chair. Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you. I'd like to call the Tuesday, October 20th Downtown Development Authority meeting to order. With that, I would ask for approval of the minutes for Tuesday, September 15th regular meeting. Please identify yourself.
The minutes.
Identify yourself when you're making the motions. That was Dan Lublin approving, and do I have a second?
Jim Gotts, I'll approve, second.
Fantastic, Jim Gotts, thank you. Are there any discussions or changes for the minutes? Hearing none, Debbie Watson, can you please take the roll call vote?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect.
Great. Lublin,
Yes.
Gotts,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Merkin,
Aye.
Scott,
Aye.
Smith,
Yes.
Spelker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. I am now going to move to item 2, public comments. Ken, do we have any public on the line?
We did have a caller join us. Caller, if you'd like to speak, please press *9 on your keypad, and that will alert us that you would like to speak. Again, please press *9 on your keypad. Okay. All right, caller, with the last 4 digits of 9408, I will ask you to unmute your line. Please press *6 to unmute. And again, please state your name and address for the record. Go ahead, caller.
My name's Larry Gray. I just wanted to let you guys know what number was here, and my address is 2115 Glen Iris Court.
Thank you for listening in today, Larry. Do you have any comments or was that it today?
Nope. Just like I said, wanted to listen in and see how things are going.
Perfect. Thank you. Ken, do we have any more public on the line, or is that it?
We did have another public call join. Caller, if you would like to speak at this point in the meeting, please press *9 on your keypad. Okay. That caller has raised their hands. Caller with the last 4 digits, 4240. Please press *6 on your keypad to unmute and then state your name and address for the record. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, hi. This is Pam Jackson, 5736 Lancaster Lane, and I am here also to listen in at this fabulous meeting. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Pam and Larry. And with that being said, Ken, is that the only public today?
That is the only public at this point, Mr. Chair.
Perfect. We'll close the public comments section. I would like to postpone item 3, the Oakland County Sheriff's report, due to the video issues that we were having. We will try to get that on our next agenda. Let's move on to item 4, Insight Commercial Report. Randy Thomas, are you on the line? And you can take over.
I am. Thanks, Mark. How's everybody doing? I'll just try to give everybody just a brief overview and then some recent updates that we've had. Parcels A and H, that's the Shapiro development. As you can now drive through, there's about 15 buildings that are up, and they're looking for the first occupancy sometime first quarter of 2021. Other than that, not much new to report.
Randy?
Yes.
Randy, on that one, I think actually Jim's pushed it up. He's hoping for before 1/1 to get his first people moved in. In addition, the landscaping, for those of you who get a chance to drive through there, really coming out nice. So he's moving right along. He's got some units that even have like, the mini blinds and shades up. So he's close on a number of buildings. Just wanted to update you on that.
Dave, do you want to weigh in on the proposed wall now, or do you want to do it after?
Now's as good a time as any. Ken Milburn, I'm going to ask to share the screen here. So if you can picture the northwest corner the big roundabout at M5 and Pontiac Trail. So Galbraith and his team are proposing a monument sign that would kind of wrap around the corner. This image that you're looking at kind of makes it look like it's straight across, but it actually has a curve to it, so that it kind of, you know, bends around the curve of the roundabout. This is obviously the nighttime view. So these are called pin letters. So they're attached via pins to the brick behind them, and then they're illuminated from behind to create kind of this halo effect when they're illuminated at night. So it's a really nice look, we think. Obviously they sweetened the deal by including the township logo and name on there. So we think this is going to have a couple nice effects. One, it's going to dress up that roundabout and create a decorative element, at least on the northwest corner. But we hope it'll also have a traffic calming effect, having something that comes up closer to the roundabout and kind of takes away from that wide open feel of going around that roundabout. Maybe hopefully we'll take away from the racetrack effect that so many people use that roundabout for. So this is something that planning and building are working with to get the necessary building and sign permits. I know Mr. Galbraith would love to have this done this season, so that this is in place as they're working toward their soft opening in December. So I don't know if any questions or comments about that, but this is something that hopefully we're going to see here in the next few weeks.
It looks very nice.
When you actually look at the size of that wall, I mean, you're talking,
It's got to be 70 feet across.
yeah, 64 and then 30 foot on the wing walls, or no, 25 feet on the wing walls. So it's going to be a huge statement piece. You'll note that it says Barrington Apartment Homes at the moment. Ultimately, once he puts in his commercial, he will be changing that to whatever his commercial development is called. Last I, he was using the term Barrington Commons. I don't know if that's the ultimate name that he puts up, but that is the intent, to put the commercial name on that ultimately. Any questions?
I think Jay James is actually going to make Mr. Galbraith put that in writing, that eventually that name change will occur from Barrington Apartment Homes to Barrington Commons, Barrington Place, whatever it might be. So that's something that hopefully will get ironed out before Jay signs off on a sign permit.
Don't we think that's excessive?
Say what?
Don't we think that's excessive?
What is excessive?
The sign, I mean, geez, I mean, that's massive. I mean, when we build, if we ever build across the street, I mean, is that going to be that sign that big too?
Absolutely. In addition, you know that he is talking about doing the residential component, and it would probably tie in with smaller ones at the entry points at Walnut Lake. So you have consistency. But those are big pieces of property. I mean, you put a small feature out there, you've got nothing. You want that to look substantial and exciting.
Yeah, I think given the size of the roundabout, I think it's sized to scale with that roundabout.
We were excited about that, but wanted to share that with you. We'll cut back to Randy Thomas. I think we're in the middle of your report when we moved on, didn't we?
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Next would be 5 in Maine. I don't have a whole lot to report. Obviously because of what's gone down with the pandemic is just changed the landscape of what's going on with retail. The good thing, and I think I said this before, is, a lot of the tenants, want options outside of the malls, and what Bruce is, proposing, certainly does deliver that, that option to the tenants. So as we go on, I've asked to, for him to give us a report. And I think probably next month's meeting, Mark, we'll have him just come in, just give the board an update as to where he's at and everything. As you may recall, that his PUD did allow for 300 apartment units, and as Mark alluded, Aikens is working with Galbraith on more than likely trying to break ground next year on apartments that would integrate within the retail development. Lastly, as far as the market goes, the market deal is very much alive. The owner called me a week before last and is looking forward to this getting started. So he's patiently waiting to get going. Any questions on 5 and Main? If not, I'll continue. The next one would be option or phase 2 of his development, which would be the 14 acres north of the 5 and Main project. P2 would be Granger. I really don't have anything to report on Granger. Still haven't heard from them on what their plans are moving forward in either disposition of their excess real estate or whatnot. So I continue to stay in front of it. I just don't have any answers from them quite yet. Parcel C, that's the hard corner of Pontiac Trail in Haggerty. Again, I get numerous inquiries for gas stations. Activity in general has picked up. I don't have anything solid to report with anybody that is moving specific on the project. Just a lot of inquiries. Parcel D and E, that would be Merrill Park. Nothing to report on my end. It's turned over to the homeowners association. Parcel F, that's 3.9 acres just southeast of the town hall. We had a medical group that had made an inquiry. They disappeared since. That's the most significant activity. The dentist that I had talked about before still remains interested and is looking to see what happens with 5 in Maine. Parcel G, that would be the Hunter Pasteur project. Nothing to report. Parcel I, that would be the Gilden Woods. Nothing to report. J1, that's the 2.3 acres that remains on Oakley Park in Haggerty in front of the storage. Lake Parcel C, we've had increased activity. Last month we had a industrial user that was looking at it. Since then, they put an offer on another piece of property, but within the township. Let's see, Parcel K. That's the orphan piece. I really hadn't had much to talk to you in the past on it because it's a half acre. It's really tied into the property surrounding it. We got a group out of Atlanta that has made an offer to the DDA in the form of a letter of intent. The proposed use is self-storage, possibly mixed use with retail. They're supposed to be coming in tomorrow, in town tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning to meet with Dave Campbell and Mark and whoever else would like to attend to hopefully bring us an elevation and some sort of site plan to take a look at. My recommendation in discussion between Mark and I is we should hold off on doing anything with this offer till we really understand what they're planning on doing, since it's kind of like a gateway in the whole 5 in Maine DDA development. Next is Parcel L. We reported last week that we had a purchase agreement that was ready for, or close to getting ready for execution. I got a phone call from the operator that has been on these meetings in the past of the Goddard Schools, who told me that she's got to put the brakes on the deal right now. There's another site apparently that is within their system. She tells me by 13 in Haggerty that's now ahead of this project, and before corporate will final approve this site, Parcel L, they want to make sure they're not cannibalizing the other location. In my opinion, it's a separate market altogether. So I really don't know where this deal goes, other than we'll just kind of like leave it on here until we figure out what she's going to do with corporate. She loves the site, and she's going to try to fight it with corporate, but I think it's going to take some time before we'll know.
We did, Randy, you provided to her the traffic counts. And
Yep.
for anyone who lives out here, To think that you're driving to 13 and Haggerty rather than here to drop off a kid, it's not going to happen. On a map, it may look close, but in morning rush hour, people aren't going to do it. So we'll see what happens with that. I will tell you that this exercise was good because it allowed us to clean up some issues on survey with that parcel and the adjoining lot owner that had a dumpster on our property. Once we did the survey, we were able to get them to move it with Randy's help. They've been very accommodating. So we're cleaning up a few issues on that. And also dealing potentially with a pathway issue on that, whether we want to hook up to Haggerty Road. So at least we'll be in a better position when the next person comes in, having those issues taken care of up front. Go ahead, Randy.
Okay, and the last two to report on are the outlots within the 5 and Main development. I've got nothing really to report. We're just taking names and numbers because we don't know how these will integrate with Bruce when he finally builds out the retail component of his development. Outside of that, is there any questions?
Have you heard anything, Randy, on Williams International?
No, I just know that there's groups that are that are looking. Before, everybody would think that if you're going to be at M5 and Maple, it's too far north. The fact is, there's nowhere else to go, and so there's industrial users that are now kind of earmarking it. They have a huge number on the land. I don't know if it's achievable in the market today. But nothing, to report. We've got, if you're looking for other activity in the area, we've got a group that is looking at the Beaumont parcel, early stages. They're aware of the contamination that was found during the due diligence when Pulte was there. And so they're working through, and they think they may have a solution I don't know, I lost everybody.
Oh,
We can hear you.
Okay. So it's too early to give an indication if that's going to get any legs or not. We've got a local business that has put an offer in on 3 acres on Oakley Park for a showroom. Again, premature to speculate what's going to eventually happen. I don't want to steal Dave's thunder, so I'll stop right there.
No, me.
Randy, we've noted the United Artists Theater is not open back up. Do you know anything about that yet?
Yeah, that's part of Regal. Most likely that's had its last days of showing movies there. Regal is they're shutting. There's going to be closures. Within these movie theaters. The problem is the boxes in large part are fairly antiquated because they're single purpose use. This one is the old style, so it's not even the theater, so it doesn't even really compete in the market. So we have been talking to Regal on and off on what's going to go on with that piece, but the last we were told that that's not going to open up again.
Gotcha. So from 5 and Main standpoint, that's a positive, assuming that we can get theaters back in business with the COVID issue.
Yeah.
Having that on that helps.
Yeah, the jury's still going to be out on that for a while.
Understood completely. Okay. Anyone else have questions for Randy? Hearing none, I know, Randy, you have a 12:30 to get to, so we'll let you go. Thank you for your time this morning.
All right, you got it. Thanks.
Continuing on, no MTT judgments that I'm aware of this month. HOA items, all kinds of fun stuff going on. Let's see. Let's start off with a good one. Holiday lighting for Merrill Park. I talked with Merrill Park. They have installed 12,000 white lights on the Christmas trees between their entrance and the roundabout. That is many thousands more than last year, so they're excited. They want to know what the earliest date is that they can turn them on. Obviously, the township does not have any rules or regulations on this. As a homeowners association last year, we had said turn them on after November 15th. This year, I am thinking with all the negative that's going on in the world, I think we need some Christmas tree lights, and I would like to get this board's input, but I'm thinking November 1st, the day after Halloween, let's turn them on and light it up, and hopefully some people will smile. What do you guys think of that?
I'm all for that.
November 1st works. Jim, you good with that?
Yeah,
Mr. Gotts?
I think it'd be fine.
I think it's a great idea, Mark.
Okay, we're gonna let them know, turn them on after November 1st. How's that sound?
I can't
That's
help
fine.
but think of the MAME movie and We Need a Little Christmas right this very minute. Go ahead, light it up.
Where I'm going with it too. Okay. So that's the positive. The negative is we've had more graffiti in the tunnel. We have not been able to catch the perpetrators yet. We do have a company scheduled to come out after November 1st, but I wanted to bring this board up to date on the concept of cameras for the tunnel. I know last time we had talked about putting up dummy cameras and we were told we couldn't do that because of liability issues. So maybe it is time to put up actual monitored cameras in that tunnel to see if we can bring down the amount of vandalism. I will be looking into that between this meeting and the next for what our different options are. Considering that it's a tunnel that's used every day consistently, you don't want the monitoring to go off just because someone walks through. We don't want to have to look at, an iPad app saying, oh no, this person's just walking through the tunnel versus someone spray painting. So we have to figure out if there is an ability to record, like a week's worth of activity, and then maybe we download it, and as long as there's no graffiti, we can just erase it. I don't know what the options are, but we are going to contact professionals in this area and see what we can do for some type of cameras. Unless someone else has a suggestion or a way to point us, we would certainly take any input. I'll open that up to you guys.
I think the technology exists pretty readily to put in a non-obtrusive lens capacity that can be triggered and transferred to a remote facility. And I don't think it's inordinately expensive. It's prohibitively expensive.
We do have the electrical power down there, which helps. So that's good. I think our biggest problem is going to be the fact that, you're going to have a couple hundred people that go through there every week, and you don't want to look at just the ones walking through. How is it going to set it off just when they're spray painting? I don't know what the answer is.
Well, you could trigger to basically require a certain amount of activation on a timing basis. And like I said, as long as it's not anything that's visible, that the perpetrators could basically obliterate,
Yep.
would be preferential, I would think.
Well, and like you said, Mark, if there's no issue, there's no real reason to review the footage. Just dump it and move on. Only hold it if there's an issue and then go back and review it.
Yep. All right. So we will work on that. I've got that on Deb's list, and we'll report back to you.
Hey, Mark, maybe a hidden camera with the advice of the police. Maybe they can tell us what is the best technology available, and a hidden camera that cannot be broken.
Yeah, we tried that. We weren't able to get great pictures was the problem. We used certain techniques that didn't give us the video that we needed. So I'm almost thinking you put them up and you show everybody, hey, this is being recorded and you can't get to them to destroy them. So now we're going to get you if you do it. Try it that way. But just one option. We're going to look into it and see what we can figure out. Okay, moving on.
Mark?
Yes.
Mark, I have a quick question. What happens if we just put some 12-foot poles at the entrance so that they can't get to them. And we watch people who go in and out.
Yeah, maybe that is the answer. And then
Instead
we'll,
of trying to put something in a tunnel itself.
yeah,
So,
certainly,
I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can hear me if my video is working, but
we can,
the-
yes.
the problem is with just posting it outside, if you have 25 people that go through there in a time period, when we notice or find the graffiti, how do you prove which one did it? I mean, maybe someone will have a backpack with spray paint in it. I mean, if we're
The
gonna.
one with red paint on their hands?
If you're gonna put, I'm just telling you how it goes in the court of law. You know,
Yep.
if you don't have good evidence, they're not gonna prosecute them. So if you're gonna go to the expense of having cameras, why not have them show the tunnel? It would be my opinion, but
Yep. And we could certainly do a couple of them inside the tunnel. Originally, I was thinking just on the tunnel walls, because that's where the graffiti is in general, but they were spray painting the sidewalks at one time too. So I don't know. I don't know the answer, but we're going to figure out something to catch these people. We're
yeah,
bored.
and we've had 3 different spray paintings that happened just most recently. The first
Yep.
one, and then I had my deputies checking it. They went back. It was fresh paint. They could smell it. They could see new writing. And again, they went back, and the third time it happened. So we're planning to, do some things that we can do, but I mean, we can't sit on a tunnel 24 hours a day. So yeah, if we could get some video, it would be extremely helpful.
Thank you. I'll work with you on that. Thank you. All right. Anything else to add on that issue? All right. Moving on. HOA budgets. We're working on and getting that ready to go out to the different board members. All dues, the final quarterly dues invoices were sent to Windcliff and Merrill Park. Everyone is current. All tax forms have been submitted. Lighting, you'll note that all of our light poles except 2 are now working. We were short a driver, and we have to pull one of the light poles. There's an electrical issue at the bottom of the base, so we'll get those 2 done. That did pretty much take care of all of our in-stock lighting parts. So what we have done is made another lighting order purchase through Shaw Electric, including heads, poles, and the assorted parts for the lighting system in the total amount of $19,627. We have paid half. They're custom made. Once they come in, we'll pay the second half through the HOA. But this works out better. We get free shipping. We have the parts on site. And because it takes anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks to get them in, we're not waiting around to do the replacements when someone runs over the light poles. So we're in good shape for the start of winter. But as you know, this is always the time where people run everything over. Landscaping, United is working on site. You'll notice that we have included a number of bills from Russo Excavating. He is a vendor who's done work for us in the past. He's going to do more on-site work for the HOA. He's given us a very good set of hourly pricing, doing everything from trail maintenance to taking care of a big tree that had fallen and blocked the trail. So we're happy with his pricing and the quality of his response. Finding someone who is willing to get out here and deal with the issues this year has been harder than normal. So we're excited to have him join the team. Irrigation, our system has been winterized. I actually received the bill this morning, and I called and I said, you weren't scheduled till the end of November. And she said, no, we finished it early because we had some spare time. So our system is shut down for irrigation, which is good. Phragmites, you'll see there is a bill in the packet for $13,500 from the professional who treated on 9/30. So we have sprayed the chemicals for the second year in a row, remembering that these are not as strong or not as good a chemical as we were able to use the first year due to the Michigan DEQ new regulations. We'll see how they work this year and then make decisions next year. Hopefully, and actually it's not DEQ, what's it called? Eagle now, I think. But they're requiring a different treatment plan when you are within certain numbers of feet of the conservation easements. However, if we can't kill the Phragmites, they're going to take over the conservation easements anyway. So I'm not quite sure where that ends up as a positive. And that's what the applicators have told us. They're not seeing that this is a good answer. Hopefully by next year, they'll have a better one. Any questions about HOA issues? Hearing none, let's move on to the attorney's report. Tom, can I get you unmuted?
Yes, I am unmuted. And things do remain relatively quiet, as Randy reported, and we were hoping to have an agreement for the Goddard School, Randy's parcel L, and that was put on hold. We actually are virtually ready to go if the developer can get approval of the franchise, but not so far. And we were helping a bit with the LOI for the small old MDOT field office parcel on the south side of Pontiac Trail. That also remains open, but not much activity. So otherwise pretty quiet.
Thank you, Tom. Engineers, are any questions for Tom? Hearing none, let's move on to item 7, the engineer's report.
Other than a few information requests by some of the current owners and potential buyers, I haven't done a darn thing. It's been a quiet month.
Thank you for getting the information that we needed, though.
You bet. You bet.
Any questions for Matt?
No questions on nothing?
Nothing. Okay. Planning director's report. Let's move on to Dave Campbell.
A number of the things I had got covered, and then obviously you have a copy of my report that I know you all diligently read. The Pulte is moving ahead with the Martin Townhomes proposal, which is about 100 units right across the street from Township Hall on the former driving range property. They need to amend the zoning on the property to be able to do that. So they're intending to have a public hearing at my planning commission during the November 9th meeting. The 84 lumber rezoning was approved by the township board. This is in the Homestead Industrial Park on the west side of Martin on Pioneer Drive. So 84 lumber will likely be back in front of the planning commission soon with a detailed site plan. The update on the M5 billboard next to the pedestrian bridge over M5, Adams Outdoor Advertising has told us that they're maybe slowing down a bit on some of their billboard installations just because of COVID and kind of the drop in traffic counts. They're kind of reevaluating some of their billboard placements, but with this one in particular, they are still moving ahead with it. The regional director guy from Adams wants to come take a look at the site once the leaves are off the trees. So once they take a look at it with the bare trees and determine that this is one that they still want to do, I think their intent is still to start work on it before the end of the year. And those are the things that I wanted to bring the DDA up to date on.
Mr. Campbell, for the Pulte development, that's just north of Merrill Park, correct?
Yeah, right next door to Merrill Park, to the north.
And their intent would be to take down those industrial/office building that's in front that fronts Martin Road, right?
Correct. There's a row of office suites right along Martin, and then with the old driving range to the east behind that. Yes, the intent would be to demo the existing buildings, clear the site, and replace it with about 100 attached townhome units. These would be owner-occupied units. These would not be rentals. These would be owner-occupied.
The huge positive from Merrill Park's standpoint is that rather than having industrial next to them, they would end up with very nice housing to act as a buffer, as a step down to the industrial. So we're hopeful that Pulte is able to pull this off and work through it. It will be a nice addition. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Campbell?
I have one, if I might interject. Mr. Campbell, Dave Scott. The Kiski envelope just sent forward a proxy vote that they're attempting to do to relocate poles in their area off of Martin and Ridgeway. Is that going to complicate things for Pulte by relocating the telephone poles on that property?
I don't think so. I've looked at least a preliminary sketch of where they want to do the poles, and it didn't look like it would be problematic for Pulte. The motivation behind them moving those poles is Hercules, which is one of the users over there, wants to put an expansion on the back of their building. But to do so, they have to move some poles that exist at the back of their building. But from what I've seen so far, the pole relocation wouldn't impact the property that Pulte's looking at, the driving range property. And last thing I'll mention about that Pulte project is they're building the same product down in Novi on the west side of Novi Road, south of Grand River, kind of by the post office, if you can picture that. They're building the same townhome product. So if anybody's down that way and is curious what these might look like, you can go in there. Most of those are done and people are living in them.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Any other questions for the planning director? Hearing none, we'll move on to committee reports. Finance committee, we are just finishing up waiting for township budget approval. We will be bringing back our 2021 budget to this board next month. Remember that we have approved the budget. It goes to the township board and is integrated into their budget. Once they approve theirs, we have to bring it back the following month for final approval. So we will be doing that. Public relations. Jose, anything to add? Jose, public relations?
Yeah, I'm unmuting myself. Can you hear me now?
Absolutely, now we can.
Okay. Because of the pandemic, there is nothing new to report regarding the K-12 art exhibition that we organize every year with the Wall Lake schools and the DIA at our public library. So nothing new to report on that issue. The other thing is the lady who was in charge of the DIA Inside Out program left the DIA. She found a better job. So I'm waiting for the DIA to let me know who is her replacement so we can start dealing with the 2021 Inside Out program in Commerce Township. So as soon as I get the name and the phone number, we will be planning with that person where and when we will be doing the reproductions of DIA masterpieces.
Thank you, Jose. Does anyone have any questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to marketing committee. Dave Smith.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm trying to reposition a new spot, so I'm sitting on the deck, but I don't think this is going to work during the winter. So, but there's nothing new to report. Randy does his usual good job, and it's just kind of been slow out there watching what the pandemic does. But I got to tell you, though, the world in construction is just still moving ahead, and let's hope it just keeps on going that way. So if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Hearing none, thank you, Dave. Let's move on to item 11, the DDA 2021 meeting schedule. I've enclosed the meeting schedule in your packet. We have had Susan Spelker proof it for any potential conflicts. She gave it the okay. Thank you, Susan. I would like to get approval for the 2021 DDA meeting schedule. Do I hear anyone make a motion?
Yeah, motion to approve
The
it.
warrants and carry-ons and revenue expenditure report.
Oh, no, Danny, we're on DDA meeting schedule right now.
Motion to approve meeting schedule.
Second.
We've got Jose seconding, Jim Gatz making the motion. Any discussion for the 2021 meeting schedule? Hearing none. Deb, would you please take a roll call vote?
Yes, thank you. Jim Gatz,
Aye.
Merkin,
Yes.
Hoy.
Yes.
Do we still have Spelker on the line?
You do.
Yes, there you
I
go.
say
Thank
yes.
you. Okay, thank you. Smith,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Winkler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, the motion passes. Item 12, approval of warrants, carryovers, add-ons, revenue and expenditure reports. Do I
I
hear?
make the motion again.
Second.
Approve of the warrants.
Yes. Thank you. So we've got Dan and Jose seconding. Any questions on the carryovers, warrants, or add-ons? Hearing none, I'll ask Deb to do a roll call vote.
Lublin,
Yes.
Merkin,
Aye.
Spelker,
Aye.
Smith,
Yes.
Scott,
Aye.
Gatz,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Hoy.
Aye.
Thank you.
With that, we'll move on to number 13, other matters. Are there any other matters to come before this board today?
I have a question to you, Mark.
Yes.
Who will take charge, or who will be in charge of repairs and improvements in the new bridge on M5?
I think that would be a better discussion to have with Dave Campbell. Mr. Campbell, can you tell us that?
There is a lot of rust coming from the lamps because of the water and the weather, etc., etc. So somebody will have to take a look and see how we can fix the rust in the electrical lamps.
Mr. Campbell, are you on the line still?
Yeah, I am. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
So the rust, Jose, is actually coming from those blue wave panels. The blue wave panels are rusting, and then it's the rust is streaking down the white face of the bridge when it rains. The blue wave panels are not supposed to rust. It was a mistake by the contractor. They were supposed to galvanize those steel wave panels before they powder coated them with the blue powder coat, and they failed to do the galvanization step. So the contractor has acknowledged the mistake. They've submitted a corrective action plan to MDOT. So at some point, hopefully in the near future, hopefully over the course of the winter, they're gonna have to come back out. They're gonna have to take all those blue wave panels down. They're gonna have to take them back to a shop, sandblast them, clean them, galvanize them, repowder coat them, and hopefully reinstall them sometime in the spring. It's obviously a huge bummer for all of us, but at least the contractor has acknowledged that it's their error and that it's on them to fix it.
I think Mr. Campbell has been working on that for a couple months now already.
Thank you, David, for the feedback.
In general terms, as far as who's in charge of fixing it, it depends what needs to be fixed. If it's the MDOT's actual base structural bridge, then that's MDOT's authority. But if it's any of the additions that the township put on it, like the blue wave panels or like the lighting, then it's on the township to repair those.
Excellent. As everybody knows, that bridge is our jewel in Commerce. It's the main entrance to Commerce, so we have to keep it in excellent conditions.
Yes, we're all very disappointed about the rust, but hopefully it'll be fixed by springtime.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Any other matters to bring up?
I did, Mark, I did want to ask Dave Scott a question, and that is, if he is going to participate in the November 17th DDA meeting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you, David.
And I, just as I'll throw it, keep it as in other matters, I have reached out to those candidates, that I've had the opportunity to speak with. As I've said in all of my endeavors since I arrived, I will leave it better than I found it. I will assist whoever, replaces me. And, hopefully their calendars are prepared for all of the dates that they should be participating in from now until the date of swearing in. So they're going to have to learn the swear-in date. They're going to have it on their calendar so they're here in Michigan and prepared to go. Not to mention there is a luncheon with all of the 21 township supervisors where I did not have this benefit, where the outgoing supervisor took me to the luncheon so I could meet the 20 other supervisors and begin the networking. I believe that's on November 16th, as well as other dates, obligations, and meetings. I will fulfill that until my last day of November 20th. The only thing that would potentially keep me longer is if for some reason the Bureau of Elections cannot certify the election and I have to remain in office until it's certified.
Thank you for working with everyone on that. And let's hope they get that certification done right away so no one is upset. With that being said, any other matters? All right. Our next meeting is Tuesday, November 17th at 12 noon. I'll take a motion to close today's meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Fantastic. Deb, can you do a roll call vote on that?
Got it. Merkin,
Yes.
Lublin,
Yes.
Smith. David?
Yes.
Thank you. Scott,
Aye.
Gotts,
Aye.
Winkler,
Aye.
Hoy,
Aye.
Spelker.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Everyone have a fantastic day. I'll see you next month. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. Bye,
Thank you, guys.
everybody.
You got it.
All right,
care.
thanks, Kenny. See you later.
Have a good day.